It's Brum Biker, we're outside again. Like, share, comment, subscribe. So yeah man, today look at the weather man, it's crazy. But today I'm going to speak about gear. I'm going to speak about your gloves, your helmet, etc, etc. Most of the information on what I'm going to speak about now, we can relate this to the CBT element A. And guys, what you got to realize is it's very difficult for me to think about things other than actually riding a bike while I've got this flipping camera on. You get me? So just bear with me. So if there's stuff that I've missed out, please drop it in the comments. Let me know what I've missed out. And if you like the video, and if you think this video is helpful and you like what we're doing around here, because remember we're doing daily content every day. I'm going to give you something to watch every day. Just like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on them damn notifications. You get me? So let's get into it. So, when we're talking about gear, the first and only legal requirement is a helmet. Okay, so for those who don't know, the only legal requirement is a helmet. If you wanted to, you could get on your bike with a helmet in your flipping brief or your drawers. Pause. Oh, in your brief or your drawers. Yeah. See, everyone can spot me, you know. It's mad. But yeah, you could legally get on your bike in your drawers with no other clothes on, and police can't say nothing to you. Yeah. So when it comes to your helmet, always make sure, the first things first is make sure that when you get a helmet, you buy it brand new. Don't buy a second-hand one, and don't borrow your friend's one. Reason being is, if you buy a used helmet or you borrow somebody else's, you don't know the history of the helmet. Alright, you have no idea what that helmet's been through. You don't even know if the person who was wearing it before has got some kind of halitosis. Like, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So buy brand new, do not buy second hand. Alright? Helmets normally have, so when you get a helmet, you need to be looking for some things to make sure that your helmet has been tested up to European standards. It's been through trial and measure. So what we're looking for is an E number, and it used to be like ECO3, ECO4, something like that. I'll put it in the description. And that will tell you that the helmet has been trial and tested up to British standards. Okay, so that's a legal requirement. You normally find the stamp at the back of the helmet, or if not on the back of the helmet, on the inside where the straps are. I hope that makes sense to you. So then after that, what you want to think about is your visor. So most helmets have a visor. Well, the type of helmets that have a visor, it should have an E number in the corner of the visor. So what would that tell you? That will tell you that your visor as well has been tested up to European standards or to British standards, wherever you are. So if you got them two things in check, then okay, the helmet's legal. So when it comes to the helmets have multiple layers. So it's got the outer layer, then it's got inside of that, which is what they call the EPS system, the expandable polystyrene. So what happens is, if the helmet takes any impact on the outside, it could actually make an incision or some movement on the EPS system. So what happens is it creates a little bit of a gap, or it can create a gap, but you can't see the gap. So if you was in an incident or accident, the outer layer of the helmet has got no support now, or very minimum support, so it could just crack, shatter, and you could be in serious trouble. So again, make sure you buy a brand new one. If you drop your helmet from about waist height, the recommendation is to chuck it away, get a new one. And if you're going to chuck it away, make sure you cut the straps off it, alright, so that nobody else can use it. You know, there might be kids saying, oh, there's a helmet there at the flipping bin. You just don't know what's going on, right? So make sure you do that to get rid. Okay. When you're putting your helmet on your head, make sure it's fixed properly, so it's not too tight and it's not too loose. All right, so no crazy movements on the helmet. Okay. And the chin strap, always make sure that the chin strap is only around a 2-finger gap underneath it. All right, so 2 fingers, pause, 2 fingers underneath, and that should be the gap that you have. So it's not too tight, so it's going to flipping suffocate your cloth, and it's not too loose that it will come off. Does that make sense? There's different types of helmets, guys. Many different types. You got open face helmets, you got flip up helmets, you got normal racing helmets, you got dirt bike helmets. They've all got their pros and cons, guys. So typically your, say for example, your open face helmets, a bit like the Mr. Bean type, guess what? No chin protection, normally no eye protection. Okay, so that's what I want you to think about. Dirt bike helmets, they don't normally have, they have the goggles separate, a lot of them. I think nowadays they're probably making them so they're a little bit different. But whatever helmet you choose to use, just make sure that it is tested to the correct standards. That's basically what you want to think about. I'm not sure if I got everything in there when it comes to the helmets, but we're going to move on. So the next thing I'm going to speak about is gloves. So why are gloves important, guys? Gloves are really important, yeah, because if you was to come off your bike, which we don't want to be doing, but if it was, the first thing that comes out is your hands. You're going to try and brace yourself with your hands. So if you've got no gloves on, what you're going to find is your hands are going to be shredded. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be in serious problems if you've got no gloves on. Do you know what I mean? So when it comes to gloves, there's things that we've got to look out for. Right, so it's always good when it comes to your other gear now, such as gloves and all the rest of it, make sure that it's at least CE certified. Yeah, because again, if it's CE certified, for the most part, it should be checked, trialed and errored in many situations. Okay, so gloves, fitting of the gloves, make sure that your gloves, your fingers go all the way in. This sounds crazy, right? Make sure the gloves are not too tight, because if the gloves are too tight, it's going to restrict your movement on your hands. All right. If the gloves are too loose, it might make you unable to feel what's going on. All right. When it comes to your gloves, proper motorbike gloves, they usually have things built into it so that they are safer. All right. So hold on. So normally they're double stitched. So if your hands were to go down on the ground, there's a few layers before it gets to it. It's nice to have some sort of leather on the palms. Normally, they should have some knuckle protection, palm protection, and that should keep your hands as safe as they can be, if that makes sense. Okay. There's many different types of gloves. You've got summer gloves. Summer gloves tend to be quite thin. I actually prefer summer gloves for the most part. They're nice and thin and you can feel everything. Oh gosh, that just sounds absolutely crazy. It sounds like I'm doing one bag of innuendos while I'm describing this thing, yeah? So, thinner gloves, you can feel everything better. The issue is with the summer gloves is a lot of them are not necessarily waterproof. Does that make sense? If you're riding in this kind of weather now, I mean the weather's absolutely shite. So if you're riding this kind of weather now with summer gloves, your hands are going to be all wet and horrible. And what you're going to find is, if you don't dry your gloves properly, because normally what normally happens is people come in after a ride, oh gosh, it's sounding crazy, come in after a ride and they just fling down their gloves somewhere and they're not being dried properly, and then after a while the gloves them just stinking and horrible. Do you know what I'm saying? So bear that in mind. So yeah, so you got this, so they're the summer gloves, and then you got the winter gloves. Winter gloves are typically thicker. I think these are a bit in between. I'm nice and warm with these, to be fair. These are Oxfords. No problems here with my with being cold or anything like that, and these are waterproof as well, allegedly. So I've never had wet hands in these. So yeah, so that's with your gloves. So again, doesn't really matter which type you want to get. You don't have to spend a bag of money. You can do everything on a budget, but just make sure that them things are in place. Palm protection, knuckles, double stitch, and they fit properly. Hope that makes sense, and waterproof if need be. Alright, so now we're going to speak about clothing. So clothing, and sorry, with the helmets, let me go back to the helmets 1 second. It's always recommended to get a bright coloured helmet as well, which I don't like them, but a bright coloured helmet, because that enables you to be seen better. Hope that makes sense. So anyway, let's go back into, we're going to go into clothing. So when it comes to clothing now, guys, the first thing I would say is make sure that whatever you're wearing has body armor. Make sense? So again, oh gosh, my phone's ringing. Right, so sorry about that. My phone was ringing. People always ring me when I'm vlogging. Madness. Alright, so when it comes to the clothing now, what you got to think about is make sure your clothing has bright colours in it. Alright, so it makes it easier for you to be seen. That's one thing, right? So I'm doing it in no particular order. Body armour. Always advisable that you're wearing some proof armour in it. Alright, so underneath this high-vis jacket, I have armour. Okay, so if anything, it's protecting my elbows, my shoulders, my lower back, etc. Hope that makes sense. When we're dealing with clothing, I would say the minimum requirement would be jeans or denim. Minimum requirement, because it's quite abrasive and it's generally heat resistant. Okay, what you don't want to be doing really is getting on your bike with tracksuit, shorts, etc, etc. If you go on with like a thin tracksuit, when you come off, if you was to come off that bike, it's just going to melt into your skin. Just be very, very mindful. Okay. So again, when it comes to your kit, you've got levers, generally speaking, and we got textile stuff. Now, personally, I'm a bigger fan of textile stuff. I like things that are more comfortable. I'm into comfort over looks, to be honest, when it comes to the bike. Some people are about looks over comfort. You'll see people wearing these real tight levers and it just looks all stiff. And it's like, mate, are you all right over there, mate? You know what I mean? I like things nice and comfortable, man, but safe. You get me? Levers, they're going to cost you a lot of money. They're not cheap. You're probably talking a leather suit, brand new, maybe like an RST outfit. You're probably talking about 300 quid, something like that. There are places where you can get cheaper stuff, which I will take you to one of the days on the vlog. Yeah, the textile stuff is for me, but it all depends on what you want to do. You can get like Kevlars, so Kevlars are stuff that looks like jeans, but it does have the necessary protective stuff. The only thing I would say with the jeans, the Kevlars and that, I'm not really sure if they're waterproof, so you got to bear that in mind, depending on what terrain you're rolling in. Do you know what I mean? So it all depends on what weather you're rolling in as well. I always say, have equipment for different terrains, for the cold, for the rain, and for the sun. Alright, so you don't want to be wearing winter gear in the sun. You don't want to be doing that when it's hot. Okay, does that make sense? So even when it comes to gear, if you want to buy gear second hand, go for it. Just make sure it's in good condition and stuff like that. That's not my kind of thing, but you know. Then we've got footwear. So footwear wise, there's a few options you can have now. So you can buy motorbike boots if you want, but what you find is the motorbike boots, the racing ones, the soles are like that, they're about that thin. So what happens if you do quite a bit of walking, mate, you're going to be walking on your flipping soles of your feet within a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? So be careful with that. Alright, so again, sometimes the racing boots are more for style than sort of practicality. You know what I mean? But they still offer the relevant protection. So they're normally waterproof. They normally have ankle protection to keep your ankles nice and protected, and they normally have anti-slip and heat-resistant soles. So if you was to scrape your feet on the floor, they're not just going to melt and just burn into your foot. Does that make sense? So me, I prefer the alternative. So the alternative is maybe some walking boots. Now you can go to like Sports Direct or them kind of places there and get some walking boots for about 35 quid. They cover your ankles. They're not steel toe cap. Because what you got to think about as well, guys, you want the toe bit to be firm, but you don't want steel. Okay? So if you have steel toe caps, what can happen is, number one, you might struggle to feel the gears, because there's no feeling to your foot. And also, if there was a case where there was a bit of an accident, the actual metal could actually stick into your toe. So keep away from steel toe caps, guys. Keep away from dirt. But yeah, good pair of walking boots, excellent find. So when it comes to gear and that, guys, you can choose from a range of stuff, different looks, different terrains, whether it's summer, winter, autumn or whatever. It's all entirely up to you guys, but just make sure you wear the gear. Wear something, strap up. When you're getting on your bike, when you're going to ride, make sure you strap up. Alright, so anyway, that's the end of this little video. I hope you got some wisdom out of it, and I hope you've learned something. And like I said, guys, if there's anything that I've missed or anything you want to add on, because obviously I'm trying to think and ride at the same time about stuff other than what I'm doing, and it's difficult, so let me know, family. Let me know in the comments. But anyway, peace, manners, respect. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to share it with someone, man. We out.